let nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. That's right. And it's worth something.
This is BLACKWATCH with Commanding General YAHANNA, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he make man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
We don't need a black man in the White House. We need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. BLACKWATCH. Let the show begin.
Yeah. What's going on, Israel? ISUPK.com. That's the website. We do it up every Monday night, live and direct. Y'all got mics on over there? Con. Yes, indeed. Well, welcome to the show. Let's get it on one more time. Let's do it how we do. Where we going first? We're going to jump right into it. Where we going first, fam?
Con, sir. Says cruel, evil, and completely biased. Tennessee judge accused of having black kids arrested and jailed at alarming rates, once dragging in 11 children for crimes that don't exist.
Damn. Where's this at? Tennessee?
Con.
These people are monsters, man. You mean to tell me they just locking black children up? Like, once again, this place here is the horriblest place in the world. Let me tell you, I'll give you a quick side story if I could. They got a company right up here in Pennsylvania, right up in Bryn Mawr, outside of the city, right? This company makes $3 million a day. And here's what this company does. This company, all they do is provide workers for students that need disabilities. But they have a monopoly on it on the Northeast. And they just gobbling up all the money while using black students and African workers to run the program. Like, we fought for them civil rights. And meanwhile, once the civil rights came in, they got all the so-called Jew got all the contracts and benefits off of all the hard work that black people did. You wonder why it ain't no books for the school, and they can't pay teachers a decent salary, because they got these different companies making millions of dollars a day off of the system while we starve. And meanwhile, when that's not enough money for them, now they're gonna turn around and lock our children up. I guarantee you, it's like that big scandal we saw in Pennsylvania, where they were locking children up in Pennsylvania so that they could make money off of them. Like the state was paying the juvenile prisons money for housing our children. So the judges who were getting kickbacks locked up every child that they could lock up in front of them. And it sounds like that's what this is. Give me some more.
Honorable Khan, sir. It says she was cruel, she was evil, she was completely biased. Everything she said was not supposed to be, said Cheryl Gwinnett of the Rutherford County, Tennessee juvenile judge Donna Scott Davenport, after a report released by ProPublica and Nashville Public Radio revealed she has been incarcerating juveniles at alarming rates.
You got more? Well, that was it.
Honorable Khan, sir. It says the report revealed that the county juvenile detention center, which is about 30 miles from southeast of Nashville, locked up 48% of all kids that came before Judge Davenport.
48% of all kids that came before. Like, you destroy them children right away. Like they on.
Can they hear him? I'll check it out. We're wrong. Break it down real fast.
Conoway Khan, sir. Which is about 30 miles southeast of Knoxville. They locked up 48% of all kids that came before Judge Davenport. Meanwhile, the state average was only 5%.
Shout out to Officer Thawara down there in Tennessee. Is that his name? Give him a hand right now, man. He's living in Tennessee, saving the lives of the brothers and sisters in Nashville, Tennessee. And let me tell you, if you ever wondered why the Israelite School of UPK reaches out all over the globe, we reach out because we know our people are in danger everywhere. And our brothers and sisters, our very children, are in danger in Nashville, Tennessee, because there is some judge that gets rich the more you get poor. Some judge that is able to travel the world the more that you're locked in a cage. And that is the problem in America. So as you try to get a better life and to get your children to stay out of jail, there is someone that is desperately trying to keep your children in jail. As you try to flee from drug addiction and to move to a better neighborhood and to try to have a better life here, there is someone that gains and profits from your life being destroyed. And that's why, if it's one thing, I don't understand, if this is one thing I've never understood, why people just don't allow us to turn this world upside down and to put blacks and Hispanics in charge of the world. Look at the world you're living in right now, while white people, our oppressor, are in charge. They're in charge. They control the court system. They control the banks. They control life and death. Right. They control the hospitals. They control the medical fields. They control the fields of education. And as you're striving to be a better person and to have your children have a better life, there's someone fighting against you. There's someone that will lose money if your child doesn't get arrested.
Yep.
There's someone that only makes money if you are a bad parent. Yep. If you're a better parent, he loses money. So you have to be a bad parent. We are the oppressed. And this court system oppresses us. Commander General Yohanna?
Yeah, I'm here.
Lock it, sir. That was it.
That's like, it's ridiculous. Like, once we said it before, you are the cattle. Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, you don't know, you're the cattle. You're the cattle that everybody is eating from. You're the trough that everyone eats from. Like the day has to come where black people no longer ever blame themselves for what is happening to them. If somebody Google me how much money does the U.S. spend on the U.S. military every year? And then somebody else Google how much money is spent on U.S. aid to other countries every year. Let's see if we can pull them figures up. You can split us up. Like let's see if we could find that out, because brother, you're gonna find out something insane. You're gonna find out that they are spending tons of money on themselves and gobbling you up alive. Even this whole thing about this package thing that Biden is doing. They arguing back and forth and acting like this $1 trillion is a lot of money and all of this, when this is all BS. This is to give you a crumb. They got to act like they taking over, that they bringing down the government for you to get 2 crumbs out of the government. Now, this government gives away way more money than they'll ever spend on blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians in this hell. And after this bill is passed, the Edomites are going to get half, if not all, of the benefits of this money. And you understand? And so it's such a joke. It's a joke to act like this is all even and fair play, and that you should, pull yourself up out of your bootstraps and stop blaming the white man when, multi-billion-dollar corporations don't pay any taxes in this country at all. Meanwhile, 1/3 of everything you earn is being taken away, and you got to fight and scrap for $1 more. And on top of it, that's not enough. They got to make money off of your brothers in prison. They got to make money off of your children, because you know what, that's what's coming next. They got companies, they have security companies right now working tooth and nail to come out with the most sophisticated ankle brace monitors you've ever seen. I mean, I'm talking some serious ankle brace monitors where they can turn the monitor on and see everything in the room in a 3D spread. And the reason they're working so hard for that is because they're ready to bring your brothers and sisters out of the prisons and have them prisoners in the street with the ankle monitor on. Like they like parole gonna become easy to get because they can make more money off of you on parole. They can open up factories. They can pay you next to nothing as long as they keep making you a prisoner like you was bringing out. Like you have to be starving and dying for all these heathens. Just think about it. You know what it would take for you to go to another country, barely speak the language of that country, and for you to open up a business and prosper. It's so hard to open a business and make it run in America. Could you imagine going to a country where you don't even know the language and being able to do that? Well, why is it they're able to do it so well and your people are not? Because that is the plan. That's the plan, and you got to stop blaming yourself for the plan. Like this is an atrocity. They just taking our children off the street and locking them up. Also, too, if I could, y'all, I know y'all heard about this. Did y'all hear about how they said that in the month of August, we're in October, right? In the month of August, they said the amount of missing black men went up by 50% in America. Right now, we're 14% of the population, and we are 35% of the missing people in this country. Black men are disappearing all over this country like crazy. And I ain't talking some drug dealer getting killed and they throwing him in the abandoned building. I'm talking about regular people, regular going to work people doing their job every day with family and kids. They disappearing all over the place. Up 50% since August. That's how this empire, and let me say, that's how all empires function. Like this empire knows they need as many people as they can get over here to work this empire. Otherwise, they wouldn't make any money. But they want to get rid of you. And they're going to attempt to do it as well. So, Lockie, go ahead, y'all.
Kawakata, I have the number you wanted, sir.
Please.
It says the United States spent $725 billion on national defense during the year of 2020.
That's almost $1 billion for 1 year. For 1 year. And right now, they are arguing about $1.9 billion over the next 10 years. Okay? 1.9 billion over 10 years. They spend 750 billion. I mean, that's trillion, but they spend 750 billion every year. Does it say how much they give away in aid?
And if I could, sir, national defense has nothing to do with what they're spending in Iraq and Afghanistan and all the wars. National defense means money strictly to defend the homeland of America.
That's right.
I have the foreign aid, General.
Go ahead.
Afghanistan, they give them 4.89 billion. Israel gets 3.3 billion. Jordan 1.72 billion. Egypt 1.46 billion. Iraq 960 million. Ethiopia 922 million. Yemen 809 million. Colombia 800 million. Nigeria 793 million. And Lebanon 790 million. That's what they have listed here.
Like, and you can't get nothing. You can't even get above $7 an hour, damn near. You can't get above any of that. Like this empire, it's a joke. It's a joke to even think that these politicians and this society that we live in has anything to do with you other than you being a slave. It don't have nothing to do with you other than you being a slave. And until Christ return, until we start to stop being so dumb. So we stop being so damn dumb and so stupid listening to these leaders and start to really learn the truth about Christ, then we're going to make a change among us that's going to be colossal. But until then, we just going to be just suckers for the game that they lay down every damn year. You understand? They got Obama out there, you know, speaking up for the governor of Virginia and saying people got to vote and they got to do this and that. And meanwhile, they both sides going to starve us to death. We got to learn the truth about Christ. And the Bible, and this what else is so good, real quick. The Bible is so good at explaining how society should run. That's one of the things I always loved about the scriptures, was that you could sit and learn in them scriptures and you will learn how a society is supposed to run. And then you'll examine the society you in, and then you'll realize why you need the kingdom of heaven. You'll realize why you need the kingdom of heaven, because you leave it to these people and they'll just starve people to death. You understand? Like they'll only raise the amount of money they pay you because they have to, because there's nobody to work, which is once again why they're getting ready to bring the prisoners out. Salakia.
Come on, sir. Next story, sir.
Yeah, y'all done on that?
Come, sir. Miss Kristin Usrey, Ranchview High School teacher, accuses black student of sexual assault after he was trying to escape a fight.
Dang. Go ahead.
Come, there's a video on this too, sir.
Let's do it. And that's coming back. That's going to come back big. Them accusations of white rape. Get ready for plenty of that. Get ready for plenty of that. The only downside they got to that white rape call is the video camera. The video camera is the only downside they have to that white rape call, because that white rape call, that's getting ready to get popular. Everything will be, he tried to rape me. That's coming back. Every overweight, disgusting Edomite will be trying to cry rape.
It says a Ranchview High School teacher made a serious allegation against her student that was running away from other students who were trying to jump him in class.
Can we play the video, sir?
Yeah, please. Let's do it.
Go ahead.
And, you know, it show you the mindset of these teachers. Like I've been hearing and reading stories of these white school teachers, you know, over black kids for years, man. And they you know, they got a special animosity toward young black boys for some reason. And this just goes to show, it's just more proof. Like with all the chaos that's going to be going on in this classroom, he grazes her running for his life, and she can only think of her nasty, ugly self. It's ridiculous.
Amazing.
Once again, too, sir, we run to our pressure for health and safety, and they always, every time, turn on us. It's the same thing with the cops. I be trusting the police to help us in time of need, and they turn us and treat us like we the victim, we the criminal.
Right.
Like, young man going to get assaulted, he wanted to teach her for help. And all like I did on my ox said was, you are assaulting me, man.
Amazing.
Ready, Rock? That a video? Let's get it.
Do it.
7 in the morning.
Excuse you! That's sexual assault! Excuse you! That's sexual assault!
It's 7 in the morning.
Excuse you! That's sexual assault!
Like he came out of his shoes, sir.
Damn.
Running for his life.
Like he ran around her, and her nasty ass say, that's sexual assault. Like, excuse you, you sexual, like somebody want her.
And if I ain't been touched in so long, so
And if I could, sir, I blame those Christians for things like this.
Come on.
Christianity has inflated the ego of white women and white men to the extent that they believe that they're untouchable gods. And a white woman believes that she is the most desirable human being on the planet. And it has nothing to do with what she sees in the mirror. She looks in the mirror, she looks disgusting. But white women see themselves through the eyes of lustful black men. Black men, as far as she knows, she could have sex with any NBA star she wants, any rapper she wants, because black people worship white women, and it gives them an inflated sense of self. So much so that if you graze by them to avoid being beat to death, in their mind, a peasant has touched a god, and you should go to jail. Every Christian, every time a Karen calls the police on a black man, you should blame your church. Because churches created Karens. Because churches have inflated their ego. We worship them like gods. Every rich black man desires a homely white woman. And it makes them think that they must be just born beautiful.
Right.
Born desirable. And really, every black man wants them. The hell, LeBron James wants him. Kobe Bryant. What? 50? Not LeBron James, but Kobe Bryant. Not Kobe Bryant either. I'm wrong about that. Give me another name. Michael Jordan. That's the better one. Michael Jordan.
Charles Barkley. That's the one to get.
Right. And every black woman wants to look like one. I saw that Serena Williams. She looks 10 shades lighter rock on some commercial.
Dang.
She's dressed like Wonder Woman. She's on something like Wonder Woman. I looked, I said, God damn, she has to be 10 shades lighter than she was back when she was playing tennis strong. What was a white woman to think? She must be a goddess. She must be beautiful. And really, if you graze by her, it's not to save your life. It must be to touch this godly body. This goddess body. And you should blame your reverend for every time a white woman gets a black man killed.
Yeah.
Blame your preacher for it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You right. You so right. I mean, the ridiculous, like what she should be investigated for is child molestation.
Come on.
Because that woman right there is thinking about them young black men in that classroom. They taller than her and looking full size, like a full size man, even though they children. They in there taller than her. She watching them coming in and out every day. And the first thought in her mind, the minute he grazed past, listen, he ran around her just the way a child would run around his mother when he's running from his siblings. Right. When you in the house, you running from your siblings, you run around your mother like to stop them. Right. And instead, in her mind, it's, she looking at these young black men like they all want me. They all want me. As soon as he touched her, you're sexually assaulting me. Like in her mind, they all want her. I would be very, very, she need to be examined and scrutinized. You might find out that she done had sex with one of them young boys.
Okay. And here's the flip side, sir. White men want nothing to do with that garbage.
Yes.
She can't pay a white man to take her to Applebee's.
Yes.
She's gotta split the bill.
That blouse look like a nightgown.
If she finds some white man to sit next to her in a restaurant, she's gonna blog about it for 2 weeks.
Man, would show you like, and if I could just add to what you're saying, like this is the danger. This is what a lot of you out there don't understand about us. That's the danger we watching for. That's the danger we worry about you for. We worry about you in that danger because we know how dangerous it is. Like without some film footage, that young boy could be up on sexual assault charges.
Yep.
And the other kids that's trying to beat him up, they certainly are not going to defend him. So he could be up on serious charges in the event if that videotape wasn't there. You know what I mean? And that's why black people, you better get ready for the Lord to separate you from them. This coronavirus has already got the ball rolling. It's already pushing major segregation you're going to see in some of these stories. But the Lord gonna press this thing up much, much more. He gonna rip you apart from these people. He gonna rip you apart from these people out, and you're gonna see it clear. You already seen it. That's why a lot of people not going back to work. Black people don't want to go back to that disgusting grind they've been doing every day, all their life. That coronavirus gave Black people and Latino people a break from the constant tyranny that they've been under. And that gave them a chance to realize that life is better than this horrible grind and not being able to pay our bills and being pulled over every day, lying to yourself, thinking you have a life when you living in a life of misery in this place. That's killing yourself in these slaveries, man. I mean, literally killing yourself in these slaveries, trying to take care of your family, trying to do the right thing, trying to respect this place. Meanwhile, Jeff Bezos gets to fly to the moon and not pay a dime in taxes, not a nickel in taxes, and he gets to fly to the moon. But talk about absolutely evil. You're gonna rip all the taxes out of the poorest of people, and meanwhile, you're going to let the richest of people get away scot-free. Like 2/3 of the taxes that's supposed to be coming into the empire are not coming into the empire because you letting the rich not be taxed. And Black people are so dumb. You so dumb. I love you, but you dumb as hell. You so dumb because you just look at that like a Republican argument. Like Republicans don't want to pay taxes, or Democrats is against taxes. You should be against what's just and right. How you gonna have an empire and one person who makes $500 a week got to give up a third of that, $200 and change, and one person that makes $1 billion a week doesn't have to pay anything? Like, where's the sense of justice in that? Like, what? And you sitting around acting like some politician gonna change that? Like some politician is miraculously going to make Jeff Bezos now start paying taxes and lower your taxes? Is that what you believe? And it's damn near, it's already a welfare state. Like this $1.9 trillion bill is just basically welfare. But welfare just packaged up in a different way, would show you something else if I could. You could bring it back to both of us. Like show you something else in this kingdom that's so amazing. Going along the lines of what you're saying. Like they feel so entitled. Because, of course, in this kingdom, they are starving everybody so much that they have to have programs and debate in Congress because they're stealing everything. It's damn near like it's just like medieval England. It's just like medieval days where the kings and the governors and the nobles just robbed up everything. And then the poor people just had to wait on a handout, wait on bread, wait on wine. Wait on cheese, where the had to get portioned and rationed out. And that's you should be embarrassed to have a kingdom this rich and powerful where it has to be a whole congressional debate about giving some trinkets to poor people, giving them child care services, giving them a little more time off of the job, giving them all. But meanwhile, in this whole bill, you ain't saying Jeff Bezos got to pay nothing in taxes. Or none of the other wealthy and rich. Like, it's a joke. It's a joke. You're in slavery. You're just too stupid to understand you in slavery. And you refuse to turn to Yahushua to show you the path out of captivity. Like, this is a joke, this empire, in the way the empire is treating the Lord's chosen people, man. And that's why nobody don't want to go back. I don't blame you. I don't blame you if you don't never go back. Because you know what happened with Black people? They calculated their situation and realized they have been working for years and that they have next to nothing to show for it. That's what the hell they realized. And your kid can't even go to school. And first of all, that old frumple stillskin could not even control a classroom because them kids were all up on their feet running back and forth like crazy. And then on top of it, as soon as he brushed past you, you the only line of protection he could think of. He run past you and you accuse him of sexual assault. This is a joke, God. Like, this is a joke. And that's why black men must wake up. Because Black men don't realize that you have the ability to change and shape your society. You have the ability, you can change the entire educational system, man. You can decide, black people can decide, you know what? Y'all gonna take all this billions and put it into education and then give all that billions out to different so-called Edomite companies and make them rich while you starve us. Guess what? No problem. We'll just go set up our own schools. That's why these schools, the Israelite school, UPK, these different schools, believe you me, they're going to become de facto government buildings. Watch what I'm saying. Like after a while, the UPK going to become a de facto government building. It's going to be where you go to resolve disputes in court. It's going to become where you go to get aid for food and finance. It's going to be where you go to sign up to sacrifice and volunteer for different operations that go on. It's going to be where you go to get educated. It's going to be where you go to get your children educated. It's going to be where you go for extended transportation. You go watch. They're going to become de facto government buildings because after a while, you're going to wake. The Lord going to force you to wake up and see that you're living the life of a joke, of an absolute joke in this empire, man. It's a lot.
I was just going over some things, and I'm looking from Emmett Till to Purvis Payne to the Scottsboro Boys and to the Martinsville Seven. This place got a long history of accusing black men of rape, and then when they find out, they know that no rape occurred. Even the Scottsboro Boys, they said they knew that them women were not raped. There was no evidence of the rape. Imagine that. Still charged for rape.
Imagine that.
No rape actually ever occurred. Like you said, if there wasn't no video, they'd try to have that young boy charged and touched in some kind of way.
Exactly. Ruin his whole life.
Yeah.
Ruin his whole life. Traumatize him, incarcerate him, ruin his entire life. Like, this is a joke. And you Christians, like you brought out earlier, though, you Christian leaders, you have failed, man. You're just a bunch of failures, a whole bunch of suckers in suits robbing your own. But you disgusting, man. You robbing and raping and molesting and having all kind of alternative lifestyles and everything. You all the way off your job. You completely off your job. You're supposed to be in the office doing your job. You out to lunch some damn way every day, all the time. Which is why Christ got to raise up new cats. It's a joke. It's a lot.
You're right, sir. The Lord said in the Bible, Ezekiel, the 13th chapter, how our leaders didn't get us ready for the day of the battle. Like
exactly.
We now. And our people are not prepared because these cats in that Christian church is worrying about money and filthy lucre. You know what I mean? They're being accepted by the oppressors, man, and not taking care of their own people. That's the issue. That's what's going on. Like how you said, this Christian church, all this blood right here, laid on their feet, on their doorstep, on their hands. All these Christian pastors, man. Every last one of them for the evil they did against God's chosen, man. And not preparing us for the day of the battle, get us right with the Lord and showing us how we got to fight this battle spiritually. They're not doing it. Instead, they filling their coffers with the money. Instead, they enacting laws and backing laws, one that are against the Lord and two against the God's chosen people. And don't care. As long as you got money, they love you. You got a couple dollars in your pocket, oh, you the man. They got nothing but love for you. But the poor ones in the ghetto, they hate them, man. And don't do nothing to help them or change their condition. You said this a long time ago, it's enough money in the black community, but we ain't got to ask somebody for nothing.
I told you, it's a company 3 miles from here that makes $3 million. They make $21 million every week off of poor Black and Latino disabled children in this area. Every single day, they get $3 million straight out of the coffers of, and that's one little company. This is a little company in a little building right from here. Like, this thing here is so, it's heinous what's going on. And again, boy, oh boy, I'm praying. That's why this coronavirus, boy, this was should have been such a wake-up call for your natural intelligence. Because if you think back the last year, if you think back of all of 2020, you did not hear anything from Black preachers. Like, you didn't hear, like, name one important thing that T.D. Jakes said in 2020. Creflo Dollar, all the rest of them, nothing. They was quiet as hell for 2020 because they sat there and that coronavirus hit and they went for cover and you was on your own. You was on. They didn't even have the balls to stand up and say, go see your doctor and see about getting the vaccine. They didn't even have the balls to take a side on one of those. They just absolutely just did not care. They just got the hell out of the way and let whatever happened to you happen to you. And like a big dummy, when they come back in 2021 and start to game you up again, like a big idiot, you're going to sit up there and take them on and listen to what they say and believe them and act like we are so evil and we just want to be street gangsters and a gang and this and that. When, brother, these captains and these generals in this ISUPK, you should be throwing flowers at their feet when they walk up out these schools. You should be throwing flowers at their goddamn feet because they stood up and stood through all that fire. You ain't going to tell me some of them was not afraid, even when we told them, don't you worry, stand with the Most High. I got plenty of what we sometimes call questionable phone calls. There are a few brothers like, General, now you sure about, I'm just wondering, so and so, because it was, for a lot of brothers and sisters, it was frightening. They lost the family members, people in the world that they knew, homies they grew up with, but the Most High didn't bring it on them. They escaped all of it, and they stood up in it, man, and kept them doors open for you, kept teaching online, kept educating you, kept giving out food, fed you during the pandemic when the churches shut down, to where it had gotten so bad. It had gotten so bad that the food banks were calling for people to help. Even food banks that told us we was racist, they was not going to work with us. They was still calling us up, asking us, can we distribute food? Because them churches whom they loved bailed on them during the pandemic. Bailed out on them. But who stood up? Oh, them old fools for Christ, right?
That's right.
Them old ISUPK soldiers that's just idiots for Christ. That's who stood up. Them ones you think is useless and simple and this, that, and the other, and they smarter than you'll ever be and smarter than your leader will ever be. And that's why the Lord gonna plague this place more like he did. You want to know what solidified Moses' strength long before he started doing those miracles was those plagues. Them plagues came and you ain't hear nothing else from black leaders in Egypt. And you ain't hear nothing. They got quiet as a damn mouse. And that's exactly what they did with this. And I can guarantee you, the minute this pandemic is over, if the Lord let it be over, the minute this pandemic is over, you will not be able to turn the TV on without them pieces of garbage all over the screen. They'll be all over the screen in your house, influencing your woman. Some of you brothers had the best relationship with your woman during this pandemic. You don't even realize. You don't even realize it's the first time you got 3 square meals at home because she could not go out and eat Red Lobster or give a pan of food to that disgusting house of Sodom, you understand, you call a church. Instead, she had to stay home and feed her family and all that. Some of you never knew what it was like to raise a child to the pandemic. The pandemic came and you, for the first time in your life, realized what it took to raise a child. And for all of that, the ISUPK stood staunch. I mean, Muhammad's phone, the other brother's phone, General Mayat, General Haas, my phone, 2020, brother, we all phones was blowing up with counseling, questions, with issues, and the brothers was steady on the grind. They didn't shut no doors. They didn't turn no backs. When the hell you gonna stop being so dumb? Listening to these idiots in these churches, man, singing and dancing and all that. I mean, building the greatest. And let me tell you something. If our last point, I'm gonna get up off. I know we got to get on to the other story. It's so amazing to me how they've allowed these churches to build such a huge alternative lifestyle following, and then drove it right into the government, and the government passed laws and rules, and now it's implemented all over the place, which is why David Chappelle came up against it. Like that was the whole reason he had to come up against it. It ain't white. White people been living an alternative lifestyle. You can go to San Francisco, go to the East Village in New York City. Go to some, I don't know all the spots, but some of these other spots. They got one down here in Philly. They got them in many places where they got whole societies and communities of them living a certain lifestyle. But it wasn't that big among the Black and Latino community. And they did surveys 10 years ago. When Obama was in office, they did surveys. And it found out that out of all ethnic groups and communities in America, the community that was anti-alternative lifestyle the most was the Black community. The Black community, they went and did a survey and they said, we got to get the Black community because the Black community is the ones that are the most anti-alternative lifestyle, and they went to work on it. They spent a decade shoveling that down your throat to where now David Chappelle and others is now pushing back on it. And rightfully so, because you so dumb, you let them gas you up into any world they want to put you in. You supposed to shape the world, not them. How you gonna let them shape the world? You the slave. You gonna let them shape the world, and they just going to do what every empire, and that's why every Black man should learn about the history of empires. Every empire does the same damn thing. They just starve the subjects until they can't starve them no more. They'll starve you into, you better go read about Gideon, man, and how Gideon had to hide where he was growing wheat at. He had to actually grow wheat and hide the wheat behind the wine press, because if he did not, the Midianites would have came down and stole all of the wheat and said that he had that wheat illegal. And that's all they do. That's all they do, and that's all they've been doing. And only through Christ will you learn the way out. I mean, the minute you stop singing and dancing and thinking he's a genie in a bottle and start treating him like the warrior he is that can deliver a nation, then you'll begin to fix the problem that you having in this empire. So, Lockie, I'm running. Let's go on, y'all.
You know, you hit it on point, sir, because I remember when he got in office, Obama, and he brought up about how, you know, you can come out of the closet. You said this is the gateway or the doorway to all the evil coming. Because of what he said, here it comes.
Yeah.
And it's going to affect the Black community. And it has affected the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community. It affected us wholeheartedly now, to where now we got to accept it now. And if we don't accept it, they raising all kind of ruckus all over the earth. You said this when he first said it, man.
Yeah, he ran. Remember when he ran on, you know, those different. I know it ain't popular to talk about Obama because Black people love him, but you better wake up to reality, man. Every last one of these presidents have been against you, man. I know it ain't comfortable to hear, but you better wake up, man. This place here has never been for your benefit. You was brought here to be slaves, and you will never be a part of this kingdom until you decide to fix you and your own, till you decide what is more precious to you, man. And again, I know that ain't popular, but it needs to be shoved down your throat for you to wake the hell up out the coma we've been in for 400 years. So, like it. Go ahead, y'all. Let's move on.
Salaki. 12 superheroes who came out in 2021.
Like, you ain't gonna escape it. Like, they are determined to raise your sons in an alternative lifestyle. And they're determined to take away your right to decide that. You know what I mean? And you're gonna run to your religious leaders for cover, and you're gonna find out they are behind it. What you gonna do then? Give me some more.
Colonel Wakan, sir. It says comic book fans are still reeling from the news that the next generation Superman, Jonathan Kent, the son of Clark Kent and Lois Lane, is bisexual.
Dang. That's him there? Is that him there? That picture you got?
Oh, sir. That is from the series on Disney Plus, Loki. Also, okay. Loki also came out as bisexual during the TV show as well, sir.
So now your superhero is no longer going to be a superhero based on his strength and masculinity and his muscles. I always wondered about them tights anyway. Tights always confuse me when I'd be like, I see he's a hero. I see, busting up the enemy in the building and everything. But what's with these damn tights? I never could understand, and that never jived all the way with me. Like, this is shameful. Go ahead, Doc.
If I could, sir, just to make everyone understand, there's no such thing as bisexual. That's made up and make believe.
Yeah,
that's not an actual thing. Even the concept of bisexual is just a term to make heterosexuals more comfortable with homosexuality. It's like being biracial in TV shows. Everyone in a TV show will be biracial all the time because it's a way of kind of introducing blackness to white people without offending them. So everyone will be half this, and I'm half that. That way, white people don't have to look at you like you're a filthy spick or a nigger. You're half that. And that's what they do with homosexuality. Everyone will be bisexual so that heterosexuals don't get scared and you can kind of spoon feed them homosexuality. Salami, sir.
Damn right out. What a joke. Read a little more.
Honorable Khan, sir. So lock in. It says, although also.
Damn. This, wait a minute. You telling me they're gonna put this in the magazine?
If I may, sir, they're also gonna show it on every TV show and every animated DC comic TV show as well, sir. They during Comic-Con this year, they revealed it, and it shocked every Jake in the world, sir.
Like, once again, before this, it was no need to bring in sexuality.
Right.
You know what I mean? Before this, it was about him being the superhero. Now the comic book is going to have to be about this alternative lifestyle of him, which show you this could only be done on this scale if it is by design.
Yeah,
Con.
You couldn't do this on this scale without it being by design. Like that right there, that's an abomination right there.
Sexual harassment.
That's damn. Go ahead, General.
So that's all. Like, it's sexual harassment. Like, we not allowed to put sexuality in public like this. You know what I'm saying? Or they would call it sexual harassment. But the homosexual or whatever they calling it now, LGBTQ, that world, they're allowed to totally put sexuality everywhere and all over the place, and nobody's fighting against it. ISUPK. That's it.
Damn right. Damn right, sir. And it's bullying too. They trying to bully us to accept their way of life.
Yeah.
It's a bullying tactic. Remember, they said you gotta be bullied in school, right? Don't they say to kids, if you're being bullied and you say something, you ain't gotta be bullied. Well, we being bullied into accepting this lifestyle like it's right. Like it ain't like everything is good, but everybody gotta accept this, man.
Yep.
You down with this here? You don't have it. But they bullied it on it. They put it on TV like you gotta accept it. And if you say something, everybody comes against you on it. It's a bullying tactic, man. Now they bullying us with this whole garbage. But I ain't the one to be bullied. Salaki, General. Right. You done raised me a whole different way, General. Salaki, sir. Right. You know what I mean?
Like,
we gonna be running. You understand? Because you're not gonna bully us into being and accept the thing that we know is against God. Right. It's against the Lord.
You done? Con, sir. If I may, to piggyback on what General Haas Young is bringing out is so heavy. It's astounding, sir, because this ain't the first time DC did this. To explain a little bit about myself, sir. I'm an avid comic book reader, and I like DC for the sole purpose that they have a lot of black characters. And there was a specific black character that I like who was named Black Manta, who was a supreme black supremacist in the comic books. Mm-hmm. He had a son. He was the enemy of Aquaman. And he had a son, Aqualad, who Aquaman raised up. And when I came out last year that Aqualad, who was a brother, was going to be the new Aquaman, I was like, Most High in Christ. But when they came out with the issue and put it on the show, Young Justice, sir, they turned him into a homosexual. Broke my book, General.
Oh, damn. Come on.
Like, they don't want us to have no kind of masculinity at all. At all. You can't be masculine in this society in this day and time. That's why it's heavy. That everybody, you find out who you are according to the Lord, man, to get back to your heritage and who you are. The Bible said the young man wore like a prior on the streets. It didn't say tight pants, you can't walk. And you can barely walk down the pants so tight, you can barely walk down the daggone streets. They're wearing tight behind drawers, tight behind shirts, everything tight.
Damn.
They swear they tough. I could never get in my mind. I'm like, damn, like, you don't understand. Like, this is ridiculous. Man. Come on, man. You know what I mean? They changed the whole fabric of our young men. You know what I mean? But we got to fight that back with the truth, man. Desire, when you bring something out, brother?
If I could, sir, I was just saying, I'm still wearing FUBU. I refuse to wear skinny jeans.
Yeah, listen, I agree. I go to the big and tall all the time and get extra big just so I ain't got to wear no tight pants. Right. They got to be relaxed, fit, nice, and big.
Yeah, right.
It's ridiculous.
And listen, our press is so subtle. Like this, okay, his goal ain't to change us, Haas, but they attacking our children, man.
Yes, sir.
This is attacking our children so the children get so used to a feminine-ass world. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It become funny to them. It become cool to them. They can look up to a homo and say, that is my Superman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got to protect our babies, man.
Yeah,
that's what this is.
Listen, you right. You know what it means. It's time now to come up with some new superheroes.
Yeah,
We got to bring in the artists and all the creators and all you comic book specialists. Go ahead, General Sloggy.
We need a whole line of our own artists and cartoons and comic books and coloring books. And listen, I'll cut the TV off, and that's all they'll watch is UPK shows and videos. You know what I'm saying?
Come.
You need. I'm sorry, sir. Please
go ahead, General. Go ahead.
If I could just prove your point once again and back you up, if you don't mind.
Please, General.
People out there that might be thinking that, this is just one West UPK and we're just Neanderthals, overly masculine, and we're homophobic. And really, this has nothing to do with a purposeful attempt to turn children to homosexuality that would not otherwise do so. Let me help you out with a little history. Have you ever heard of Joe the Camel? Right? Joe the Camel was an advertising cartoon. Can we get it on the screen? This is an advertising cartoon. Everyone has seen it if you're over the age of 35. You've seen Joe the Camel. Well, Joe the Camel, about 10 years ago, there was a lawsuit brought against Joe the Camel. I forget what cigarette company, Winston-Salem or that big cigarette company, right?
R.J. Reynolds or one of them.
We'll see it on the screen. Let's read the story if you don't mind. There was a lawsuit placed against the cigarette company that has been using Joe the Camel to sell cigarettes for years. Here was the charge. They believed that the cigarette company was using a cartoon camel who smoked cigarettes to get children to smoke cigarettes. And the cigarette company said, no, it has nothing to do with kids. It's just artistic. It's just an advertising tool, but it has nothing to do with children. They sued them in court. And the people who were saying that this cartoon was trying to influence kids to smoke cigarettes, they won. They won the lawsuit, and they had to pay a class action lawsuit and had to get rid of Joe the Camel. I believe Yediah has a story. Please, Yediah.
R.J. Reynolds agrees to pay $10 million.
How much?
$10 million.
Say again?
$10 million.
R.J. Reynolds had to pay $10 million. Go ahead.
In Joe the Camel lawsuit.
Keep going.
R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company agreed to pay $10 million to settle a lawsuit over its now retired Joe Camel campaign, which was widely accused of targeting children.
See, you think we're crazy. You're crazy.
Right.
You understand? You're crazy because you're asleep. You're high, you're drunk, you're chasing a prostitute or some sexual deviance. These people took them to court because it was a cartoon. And they knew by making a cartoon camel smoke cigarettes, this was influencing children to smoke. They won the lawsuit. They won. And they got $10 million. And the company had to get rid of Joe the Camel. And Joe the Camel is gone. The reason that Superman is bisexual, the reason that Lil Nas X is gay, the reason that everything is gay is because it's money in turning your children into homosexuals. And here's what gay people won't tell you. Gay people who don't realize that they've been abused. You have to make them. You understand? They don't come out that just, biologically. You have to influence them. You have to hurt them. You have to do it to twist them into something that they otherwise wouldn't do, just like smoking. Just like smoking. You have to influence them. You got to convince this kid to try this very adult thing. And smoking is a very adult thing. Yep. And to get a little kid that likes lollipops and chewing gum to do it, you're going to have to convince him to do this thing that really a child shouldn't even be deciding on, because sexuality is for adults, right? Adults decide who they have sex with. Adults decide their sexual proclivity or their sexual orientation. A child is not supposed to be interested or thinking about sex with anyone. Yep. So how do you get a child to smoke? How do you get a child to start thinking about sex? Start thinking about a different kind of sex. You're going to have to get a cartoon to do it, man.
Yeah.
That's all. So lock you, sir.
You got to have...
if I could, sir, a lot of that anime cartoons have a lot of what you said inside of it.
I've been hearing about this anime, and what I hear ain't good.
Yeah, that anime got a lot of that inside.
I've never seen anime, but I'm hearing some bad things.
Yeah, General, that anime got a lot of that stuff inside.
Oh, Lord, you dying? So
God, no, you right.
Reader of manga and anime, and y'all are absolutely correct. That's been going on for years, and it's only getting worse.
Cool.
And if I may, sir, in anime, it is widely accepted and not uncommon when you see grown male characters in anime with little boys and little girls. They even have a genre for it.
Can we take you up a notch? These cartoons are too heterosexual. It's too much giant breasted women with these little boys watching these goddamn video games. And it creates these boys who are hyper sexualized for either heterosexual sex or homosexual sex when they're children. But the video game has a woman with triple XD breasts, thighs everywhere, clearly trying to get the little boy to be over sexualized to women. Yep. But what is he going to do with that? He's a child. He has to buy his sex. He has to go on to porn and get a porn addiction, and that porn addiction leads straight to prostitution. Children shouldn't be consumed with any sexuality. Not big, giant breasted video game women, and not cigarette smoking camels, and not gay supermen. Why don't you leave children the hell alone? Let them have that time where they're not in the sex. Where they're just laying in and come on, man. Some type of game or something. I don't know what they do. What they do, they can do something that ain't about sex. Why not?
Oh,
well, I don't know. There's a million things out there. Damn kids, huh? I got a game for you. I got a game for you. Clean up this goddamn house.
That's right.
That's the game I like to play with. Right?
Go get that dog. Go get that dog a bath.
Please feed this goddamn dog. Take out this trash. Go down and put these in that machine in the basement called a washing machine.
Right. And when it's done, switch it with these clothes.
Switch them into this thing. I got tons of games for kids to play. So like you know, Johanna.
Damn right. Damn right. Give it up. And once again, if we raise up black men like we should, according to the scriptures, we raise up black men like we should with the morals that are recorded in the Bible, then they have the strength and the tools to fight against these things that come up. We so dumb. We act like everything that the empire comes up with must be good for us because the empire came up with it. Right. Edomites don't act like that. Edomites fighting. You see, they raided that capital. Now, I'm not telling nobody to do that, but they raided that capital out because certain things they not gonna have. You know what I mean? Like they raised so much hell about the mass. They raised hell about the mass and making them Edomites have to compromise on the mass. Like they don't just take whatever the empire shovels down to them, but we do, and that's why we fall into all of this madness and don't come up against the things we should be coming up against. You fighting against a vaccine when meanwhile Superman, SpongeBob, and every other character they got is teaching your kid right under your nose to destroy his spirit with an alternative lifestyle, and you're clueless on even how to stand against it. Go ahead, General.
Right, the piggy bank off you, like you just hit it. They're pointless on how to go about it. They avoid the topic when this world ain't avoiding it. They kids are seeing it and hearing it. It forces you. Like I have to talk to my young kids about homosexuality and about I put words and I make them feel disgusting about it and let them know it's disgusting. Because I know our generation, these kids now, they love that they love the YouTube with all these gamers and who create little shows and funny things and play games, and it's very feminine. You understand? Now I got to explain to my kids why this is feminine. And they ask questions. Well, how is it like that, Dad? When he on there with his girlfriend, how is he a sissy? How is he this? And I got to explain the spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like they force us to have to combat this mess against our kids. And the Christian world, like you just said, they have no idea, no clue on how to approach it, so they leave it alone, and their children most certainly going to be gay because of.
Hey, if I could, get on my I heard a long time.
Please get that up.
It was a fight. You know why I said sissy? How many times have we heard that word sissy in the days? It's been lost. But you knew growing up, if somebody called you a sissy, that means you acting like a female. And most brothers, men growing up, did not want that at all. And that's a hell of a word that we need to bring back and teach our kids the right way. You understand? Like how General Hyman said something. And I think this goes to one of the stories we got, sir, about that sister who got raped on a L in Philly by this Hamite. These kids in this society is hypersexualized. Yeah, man. So when, according to the story, can you get that story for me real quick? If I could, Sir Bubba Shaw.
Yeah, get down, General.
If I could. But they said she was getting raped. People was filming it. Right? Everybody got the phones out. So they said, yo, what the hell going on here? They filming it. Why? Because this society has been hypersexualized from young. Everything is about a lust. You know what I mean? About some kind of sexual lust, a sexual demon that's going on out here that is acceptable. You know what I mean? Back in the day, brothers were like, yo, man, what the hell are you doing, man? They just stepped to him like, yo, what you doing? And they thought it was just jumping in the back, getting on when she actually was getting raped. You understand? Getting her, somebody taking something from the sister, man. You got a story, Yediah? Read the story, brother.
Khan, sir. It says riders held up phones as woman was raped on SEPTA train in Philadelphia.
Go ahead.
Khan. As a woman was raped on a public transit train in Philadelphia last week, riders held up their cell phones and pointed them in the direction of the sexual assault instead of calling 911. Authorities said.
You know what's crazy about this, General? As I was reading this article, nobody called the cops. Nobody went to go intervene. The SEPTA worker had to call a cop, and the cop came and caught them in the act while everybody was still filming what was going on. You know what I mean? And then it destroyed us so much and destroyed these brothers so much that now we don't even want to question what's going on with our sisters out here, man. It used to be a point in time, I remember growing up in the hood out here in Southwest Philly, that when you seen a black man, you felt kind of safe. Yo, sis, you all right? Yo, sis, you good? And she'll say, yeah, I'm going. No, I'm not good. What's going on? And they want to question what's going on with his sister. We need to have that back again. Right. You know what I mean? And sir, this is the key. This killed me. The cat who raped her was a Hamite.
Right.
The cat who raped her was a Hamite who had done it before.
Meanwhile, they keeping the Issacharites out.
Say again, sir?
Meanwhile, they trying to keep the Issacharites out, the so-called Mexicans out, but they bringing these heathens in from all over the world, and these heathens coming out of real hellholes and bringing all that madness over here and putting it on us. And if I could, I'm coming right back to you, General. But if I could, I had to go back to what General Mayak was bringing out a second ago. You can split us up. Back to what General Mayak was bringing out earlier. That was real heavy what you said, General, when you said you had to sit down and show them. And when they didn't see it, you had to explain it to them because they questioning it, not seeing it. That's how well it's camouflaged. And you had to show them that. Let me tell you something, Mark. Like that's why a black man educated in the ISUPK is so goddamn valuable. Like, I mean, like what price could you put on that to raise up men? Bro, your son's gonna raise up knowing the signs to look for and knowing to avoid and protect against those signs. That's why you could tell me whatever you want. I got the greatest goddamn job in the world. Through the grace and mercy of the Most High, with raising up brothers who without that, once again, black men is so precious right now. Once they taught and raised up, we've been trashed by every aspect of society, including our women to a certain degree. But we so valuable and necessary at this point that if one brother had been educated in the ISUPK, that rape would never have been able to take place.
Yeah,
he would have bum rushed that situation, and he would have delivered that sister out of the hands of that damn Hamite. But instead, everybody else is being taught by Esau and his poison, and don't have no way to combat and deal with it. When what you just did with your sons is everything in this world. It is the key to us getting ourselves out of this situation. Like, imagine if them brothers, if brothers like that was everywhere. If brothers like that was everywhere, a ton of this evil couldn't go on.
Right.
A ton of kids couldn't stray. A ton of families couldn't be broken up. A ton of this child support laws couldn't be brought down on brothers. Like, re-educating black men to be men of God the right way combats everything they got going on in this kingdom, man. Like the Lord said, if we could, two quick scriptures. One where the Lord said, I will make a man more precious than fine gold. Y'all can break it down for me. You understand? But it's got to be said and understood how important you are. Like that, like what you just did there, like that's not going on in these houses. What's going on in these houses is mama is working all day, tired and exhausted, picking you up from daycare, bringing you home, giving you a quick meal, and waiting till 8 o'clock to get your behind in the tub and get you in the bed. She ain't got time, energy, or the education to teach you anything, nor the wherewithal to come up against it. Half the black women in this society for the last decade laughed at men with alternative lifestyle. You giggled when you saw them switching and acting the way they was acting. You thought it was cute and funny and giggly. Well, meanwhile, black men were standing there looking at it like, what the heck is this? And that's why it didn't get combated.
Right.
Read that one scripture for me. Please go ahead. Jump back in, please.
My rib just told me, one of her nieces, niece that I used to practice chess with when I was learning.
Okay.
She used to do tournaments when she was a young girl in school. You know what I'm saying? She's still a young girl, but when she was even younger, she used to be in chess tournaments. I used to practice with her. My rib just told me like 2 days ago, yeah, they say she like girls now. She's still a child. And well, that's obvious, sweetie. You ain't seen that? I mean, is this, y'all didn't know that. Nobody knew this. This was the road she was walking down. Well, I mean, she was never, then they come up with all the, reasons why they didn't see it and all this and that. I was, oh, baby, that was obvious. I just thought y'all knew. You know what I'm saying? But again, they walk around with no clue. A mother, the stepfather, the whole family walk around with no clue that this young girl has a demon on her of homosexuality. You know what I'm saying? But they don't see it. It'd be amazing to me how they don't see it. You know what I'm saying? And I totally understand when the Lord say those type of things. And like you said, putting a spirit on men like you to teach other men to fight against this. This is so the land doesn't fall to these things. Man.
Now you talking, General.
Therefore, get rid of this or do this, that the land don't fall to these whoredoms. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, like that's got to be Salaki. Go ahead.
That was it, General. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's got to be everything to us. Like that's what Christ died for. Like he didn't die for you to sing and dance in some church with some cat with some Jerry curl. Like he died for you to come back to who you are and to stand up and put them principles back in place. Like them Christians didn't get killed, so-called Christians during the time of Yahushua didn't get killed for no reason. They got killed because they were coming up against the status quo of the Roman Empire, whom the black leaders were getting rich off of. The black leaders was getting rich off of black people, off of allowing black people to be pillaged and destroyed by the Romans. And anybody that came up against that, they hated them, especially Yahushua Christ. They hated him and came up against him and tried to destroy it. And brother, that is such an important thing. And that's why you can't have no halfway alternative lifestyle Hebrew Israelites. You can forget that in here. God. You can forget that spirit up in here, because it's so important to have the verse. Diane, give me that scripture right quick and I'll get up off of y'all.
Colonel Wakan, sir, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, and verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
And that's what's happening now. Like a man, like what you did with your sons, what you brothers do every day, what General Muhammad do with that phone. Muhammad, you must have had that phone number 20 years, haven't you? Muhammad had that number 20 years. Like what y'all doing? Hell, I had mine 22. You had yours too 20, right, my guy?
Yes, sir.
I think we got 20-year bids with these numbers, man. Like what you do with that phone is, I mean, I can't. It's like fine gold. Like it's so damn valuable. You gonna say something, General? Go ahead. Oh, okay. Go ahead. Read on your diet. Like this is important. How's you too? You had your number about 20, right? Yeah. Go ahead.
Colonel Wakan, sir. Even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
Right. That golden wedge of Ophir was expensive and important, and it meant nothing compared to the raising up a man of God to come up against these things, because you so dumb out there that you know they'll push it on you and destroy your sons and destroy your daughters and destroy your society like they've done. Have you doped up, shooting and killing each other, all messed up, dysfunctional as you could be, and you wouldn't know what the hell to do with yourself. So the Lord gave you the most valuable thing you could have of a man of the Lord. And that's how the ghetto gets calmed down. That's how you get not preyed on by black politicians. That's how you not get suckered by fake black leaders and religious, thieves who will gangsterize you and rob you and destroy you. And that's how you do not, most of all, get pillaged by these other nations. These other nations is eating us alive, tooth and nail, and it's so sophisticated you can't even see it coming. You don't even know it's happening. You don't even know it's happening, and it's happening every day. Go ahead, Op.
Colonel Wakan, sir.
Was that it?
That was it on the scripture, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Please.
You brought out that scripture so heavy because that scripture right there goes against the fabric of what they are trying to do to us in the land called America. In the Christian church, their political system, and everyday life, they don't want a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man to have no say-so.
Exactly.
You want to be weak to them. They want to destroy you, and they know when they get you, they get your family.
They want to eat. They want to eat you. They want to eat you like a sandwich. You mean like Muhammad brought out, like the Joe Camel was they gonna get that baby started early on them cigarettes. That's what that vaping is. They got all these kids on the vaping. It was just to make money off them. Yeah. And they know the way to do it is to make something cool. And the next thing you know, your kids is caught up on it and they make so much money. R.J. Reynolds, they said R.J. Reynolds put over 100 different addictive chemicals in them cigarettes. They was gonna make that, like them cigarettes was gonna be like super crack. And they sold them damn cigarettes out and made so much money. To this day, people still fighting to get up off them.
If I can, John, somebody in the comments reminded me something I totally forgot about when we was young. I know Muhammad Haas might remember this. You remember the little candy cigarettes?
Yeah.
The little white sticks with the little pink tip for the fire.
Yes.
Candy for the kids.
I remember that. God. Like, once again, like we out of focus. As black men and as leaders, we're out of focus, man. We don't have no clue what to focus on because we're listening to all the wrong people when we should be listening to Christ in the scriptures. We should be listening to the greatest book that's ever. The day gonna come when they're gonna start trying to get rid of this Bible.
Yeah.
It's going to definitely happen. They're gonna raise up another generation. If they have enough time, they may not have enough time, but if they had enough time, they would raise up another generation that would be anti the Bible the same way they're pro alternative lifestyle. They'll become anti the Bible, and they'll be trying to get rid of the Bible because, of course, it's the thing that's stopping them from just all out evil and destruction, man. I mean, and just turning you into pretty much cattle. Okay. And they said in another year or so, they're going to get rid of tons of minimal job. I mean, it's going to be a mess, but thanks be to the Most High, we got this truth. I'm going to get up off it. Let's go.
They're right,
Let's get some more, you dad.
Colin McCon, sir. Protesters attempt to storm entrance of Barclays Center over Nets' refusal to allow Kyrie Irving to play due to New York City's vaccine mandate.
That was another example of us not knowing what to stand up for. Like Kyrie Irving don't want to take the needle. They cut him off from playing basketball. And you storming the Barclays Center? Like, are you that dumb, black people? You storming the Barclays Center because one black man decided he did not want to take the vaccine, and they decided they didn't want him to play, and you act like it was a Colin Kaepernick moment. I don't remember. Now, y'all get me right. I don't remember one protest over Colin Kaepernick not being able to play.
I was about to say, sir, no one stormed the NFL football field over Colin Kaepernick.
Yes, like you didn't raise hell over the fact that they wouldn't let him play. He still ain't playing, if I understand correct. Is that correct?
And he's not. And sir, and of course, these people storming the Barclays Center are white people. And of course, Colin Kaepernick was hated by white people, and so no one stormed anything for him.
Exactly. And listen, and it was some ignorant jakes as well, Salakia. I saw them out there with them red, black, and green flags, and you was red, black, and green, and for the vaccine. Like, and listen, and if I could, you want to know how dumb and stupid it was. You had Trump supporters out there anti-vaccine, and you had black supremacists, black groups, red, black, and green type black groups out there with their flag, and both of them out there protesting together against the vaccine. Like, it was a joke. It was like, you don't know what to stand for. And let me tell you something, if I could, black people could have halfway owned the NFL when Colin Kaepernick stood up. Like, had Black America really stood up with them, you would own the NFL right now. They'd handed over 2 or 3 of them teams. I mean, they brought that Edomite that owned that team. I don't know who he was. The one that Jay-Z, they called Jay-Z in to help save him. You remember who that Edomite is?
Oh, Roger Goodell.
Now, who is he? So
the commissioner, the head of the whole NFL.
Brother, when he got up on there with Jay-Z, he was the most capitulating, scared Edomite I've seen. Like, he was scared to death because you had pulled away and protested and almost shut down that NFL. Now, that should have been a wake-up call for us. But once again, all they got to do is bring in a Jay-Z or somebody, and you give up everything and become a fool again. You understand? And become a fool again up under them. Like, we got to wake up. That's why Christ went around to get those good brothers, man. Those brothers that had wisdom, that woke up. Right. And they woke this nation up. And brother, they shifted the spirit of our people. And before you know it, the Roman Empire was in medieval times. What they call it, the Dark Ages.
The Dark Ages.
They looked up, and Europe was in the Dark Ages because of us. You know what I mean? And the same should happen here, because these people will just starve us to death. They will wrench you down, destroy your morals, and wipe you the hell out, and separate you from your God, and have you separated from the Father, when the Father is the one that actually cares about you and left them records for you to get delivered out of this hell. Like, that's why it's in these brothers the way it is. Why is this in these brothers? It's in these brothers because they got it out of them scriptures. And them scriptures got the answers. It has the tools necessary to do the job. It's ridiculous. Go ahead. You got more on it, or is that it?
You died a little more.
Connor Wakan, sir. It says there was drama outside of the Brooklyn Nets home opener at Barclays Center on Sunday. Protesters tried storming the entrance over the team's decision not to let Kyrie Irving play basketball because he won't get vaccinated. If I may, sir, it's real sad too, because a lot of, what General Muhammad was saying, what yourself was saying, and General Hazla Young, which is just so heavy. I had to explain to a crazy sister just the other day on Clubhouse, because she made a statement that Kyrie is our modern day Muhammad Ali. Like how Muhammad Ali said, ain't no Vietnamese call me nigga. She tried to compare what Muhammad Ali did to how Kyrie Irving is standing up and not getting vaccinated. And I had to hear at least a good 15 minutes of that garbage, sir.
Imagine that. Imagine that in the wake of Colin Kaepernick. If it wasn't no Colin Kaepernick, I could just cough it up to say, well, she just don't know better. You know what I mean? She wasn't around during all these times. She don't know better. But Colin Kaepernick just happened. So how could you be lost? How could you have been lost on that? You know what I mean? How could you have been lost on that? Like, so many drastic changes should have been made after that and permanent changes. But of course, nothing has changed. And of course, they'll just get rid of whoever the hell else they want to get rid of. And it's dumb for him to not even, to be caught. You worried about a vaccine in this empire because you listening to Donald Trump, who's using you in many cases, just using you as a sucker to have a cause to come up against the people that he's fighting. Like, what the hell do a vaccine got to do with us when we having shootouts every night in the streets?
Yeah.
You worrying about dying over taking the vaccine, and we dying every day in these streets. We strung out on drugs, dying every hour. Families destroyed. Homeless shelters packed to the roof. Poverty beyond belief. Struggling with every social program they have, trying to feed ourselves. Families destroyed, fathers not knowing their sons, daughters in the streets. Your daughter is on Facebook giving away this new phenomenon of sending naked pictures across the internet is an amazingly evil thing. And your teenage daughter sending pictures over the internet of her vagina to young boys all around the world, brother, that, when is going to be some attention to that? That's the woman that got to bring forth that's the child that got to bring forth the next generation of children. You understand? She got to birth them babies and raise and nurture them babies. Okay, like, that's what's important right now. You understand? Where's the brother that's going to tolerate her many psychological problems from giving out them naked pictures? Where's the brother at that's going to turn around and take care of her, take care of her and get her head right? Instead, Kyrie Irving not taking the vaccine, we got to get in the streets. We got to come down with the flag, Dun, 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 dun. That's what we got to do. When we missing the point, once again, Joseph was such a genius when he told us, when Pharaoh and his people to ask you, what do you do? Say that thou art a shepherd, for shepherds are an abomination to the Egyptians. He was a genius because he knew what to tell them Egyptians to get them off of us and to have us taking care of ourselves with more important things. We don't know how to live life. We have no clue how life is supposed to go. Every heathen knows what is important in life. We do not. And we do not know it because of our horrible, horrible black leaders. All of our morals are being taught in a church with the most immoral ones amongst us. With those that are the most immoral among us, that's who teaches us. With all the problems we have. And let me tell you why we don't focus on the other problems. Know why we focus on the Kyrie Irving and not them other problems? There's two reasons. The first reason is we've been so beat here that we believe that we cannot fix that problem.
Yeah.
And the second reason is that problem is not important to your slave master. That's not important to him. Like, so you ain't worrying about it. It's coming on the news every night, and you are not concerned with that because he's not concerned with that. Yeah. But he is concerned with Kyrie Irving not playing and there being a problem, and he is afraid that more NBA players might turn around and stop playing as well. He is worried about that. He is worried about whether or not he's going to lose millions of dollars because Kyrie Irving and others decide to not play. He's not going to worry about that. So guess what? He spins you up into a frenzy, and now you at the Barclays Center, probably 2 seconds off your job, feet hurt, bills to pay, family at home waiting to see you. You at the Barclays Center arguing over Kyrie Irving being able to take a vaccine. Are you just a dumbass? Like, how dumb and out of touch can you be when you got to fight for the issues that really count for you and your people, regardless of whether they're popular with your slave master or not?
Oh my God.
They're popular with the Most High. That's what you need to be doing. And that's what's going on right now. And it's a damn joke. It's a joke. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't have even published the thing if they had good sense. But of course, they're worried too. And there's money to be made. Come on, man. Black people, wake up, Latino people. You out of focus. Many of you been thinking you can deliver this nation by raising up women. That's what you've been on the last 10 years, and you got played. You was equal rights for women, equal rights, equal pay, equal rights. You was pushing black women up there. You made them preachers. You made them judges. You made them cops. You made them corporate leaders. You made them every community leader. They run in every community social program. You pushed them all the way up there thinking they could save you. You had them marching with Black Lives Matter. And just when you got good and comfortable, then they brought in the real program they wanted, a sodomite. They brought him, they slid, while you was looking at her, they slid him right up in the front. And now he's going to be the next black leader. The next black leader will be on CNN sashaying about black rights, about what blacks and Latinos should be doing. Wake up, black man. Wake up and take up that mantle that you're supposed to. Christ said, take up your cross and follow me. You got to take up that cross, man, and get ready to say, well, what can I do to help push my nation forward? I'll tell you, come to the ISUPK.
That's
Learn
right, sir.
and grow in this nation. Salaki, water.
And it's so important what you held on to and what you told us, because once again, all this go back to men being strong in their households. They make sure they guide and direct them the correct and the right way. Instead of all this foolishness going on out here on TV. Like
we don't know what to stand up for, huh?
Cut them a gun.
We don't even know what the hell. We don't even know what the hell that's even important to fight for.
Yeah,
and even the ones that we do know what to fight for, we clueless on how to fight it. Yeah. You have no clue. You don't have no clue how to steer your children away from all the dangers that's in front of them. You have no clue, even if you see the dangers. And what General Mayab just brought out was gold. Like, that's what the hell we supposed to be doing. You understand? Please, General, go ahead.
If I could, sir. Kyrie Irving believes that the earth is flat.
Good Lord have mercy.
Okay. You should not follow Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving needs to follow.
Yes.
He needs direction. He needs help. He's a young brother that needs help. He's not the brightest brother in the world, and he surely doesn't understand science well because he believes the earth is flat. Put that in your Google. Okay, now, the poor brother is lost. He plays a good game of basketball. Lord be with him. But don't look for celebrities to lead you into your medical decisions. Look for celebrities to constantly lead you because they believe the earth is flat. Everybody understand? Okay, that's all I can say. Go ahead, sir.
And if I could, listen, what you're saying is so true, you know. In that, listen, you sitting there, first of all, you scared to take the vaccine because your slave master scares the Jesus out of you.
That's it.
You scared of your slave master, so you scared to death. He gonna give you something that's gonna kill you. So you don't want to take the vaccine. So the first nutcase that believes in flat earth theory comes along and say they not taking the vaccine, you ready to, you ready to march on Washington with it. You ready to, we shall overcome. Man, you acting like the tyrannical government is trying to make you take the vaccine when really you just scared of taking it. And so he's a good excuse for you to try to rally around and stand up the hell against it, listening to these nutcases, you understand, that watch Fox News. Wake up, man. Wake the hell up. Give me a solution to stop black on black crime.
Right.
Give me a solution to stop drugs coming across that border. Give me a solution to stop this beast from taking all your money and giving it to every other heathen. Give me a solution to stop all these heathens from stepping up into your world and pillaging and robbing you blind. Give me a solution to get your kids through a decent education. You think if we properly educated black and Latino children, this man would lose his damn mind. He needs you poor and dumb. If you're not poor and dumb, you're not going to fall for his foolishness. And you haven't been able to educate yourself properly because you've been simple and have not allowed yourself to learn the truth of the Most High. Once again, mark my words. These different schools, the Israelite School of UPK, they are about to become de facto mini government centers, non-authorized government centers, because of course Esau would never give us the authority over the kingdom. But you can best believe the people will decide. The people will decide. Like there'll come a time where black people and Latino people will say, I could take this cat to court before Esau, but instead I'm going to go take him to court before the brothers. And when he do that, the brothers is going to mete out righteous judgment. And because of that, they'll begin to recognize where they're supposed to go. And that's what happened in the past. Remember, before they could bring Christ before Pontius Pilate, they brought him before the Sanhedrin court. That was black people and Latino people. That was black people's court under black people's law. And once they went to court with him there, then they tried to Pilate to get him killed because, of course, they had no charge against him. And brother, that's what has to happen with us. You understand? Well, we got to turn around and come together, and our people will get our solution solved among us. You still trying to look at Barack Obama to solve your solution, or Donald Trump. Some of you simple as hell with that because he's against the vaccine. You on Donald Trump's side. I can't understand it. And some of you hate your brothers, the Latinos, so of course you on Donald Trump's side. And you are a fool because all of them is doing the same of giving you a trinket every 4 years to make you believe that life is going to get better while you get sunk every year. Your rents go up, your real estate go up, your pay goes down. Your standard of living goes up. They said them shelves is going empty right now. This might be the next plague the Lord hits you with. You understand? You're going to find out what it means to be a vegetarian. Man, because the only chicken you're going to have is the smell of chicken. You're going to have or imitation chicken after a while with this monster ruling over, because he'll never get enough. You can't serve a demon. A demon will never have enough. Ain't no demon never say, whoo, I had a lot. I had a good amount, man. Y'all go ahead. Y'all ain't got to come serve Satan no more. Are you kidding me? It'll never happen, man. Salaki, go ahead, you die.
If I could, sir, just
Please.
I know this is crazy talk to people who are scaredy cats, but when it comes to the vaccine, get a doctor's opinion.
God.
To a doctor, please don't let your basketball players make your medical decisions, right? I'm sorry.
God.
Get your medical advice from your basketball players, all right? Sir.
God.
It's a better way to go about that.
It might be just a little bit more wiser. You know what I'm saying? Oh.
Have him go get a damn physical.
Hey, listen, why not, House? You had it.
Right, you had it. Go get a physical.
Listen, why don't we check on that blood pressure?
Right.
We'll talk about that for a second. Let's deal
Right.
with blood pressure and that diabetes.
Right.
Look at that thing. Why
Exactly.
not? Now, Should you ask your football player about your high blood pressure?
No.
Probably not.
No.
Right.
Right? Should you ask a tennis player about your kidneys? Probably a bad idea. You might want to go ahead to that doctor. Let him counsel you in that whole situation. Go to a mechanic if you want to know about your car.
Yeah.
Go to a doctor if you want to know about physical health. It's just counsel, sir. Salakia.
And come to the ISUPK if you want to learn about God.
Get him Damn right.
Put that one on their list too, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, you know what I mean? Come on, you die.
And you die. Correct me if I'm wrong. They say that the basketball player said he don't like needles. Is that
Kind of, if I may, sir, he's being ridiculed by his own teammates. You know, his own teammates is like, come on, like what you doing?
Good.
You know, Kevin Durant, who's his best friend, you know, he even came up and said, you know what I mean, we just gotta play with what we got.
Good.
He's really the Kyrie's the only real holdout right now.
No, sir. My point being, if that is true, you understand, how do you explain? He's a basketball player, so how do you explain all them tattoos on him? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he get high too, sir.
You know what I mean?
You think we didn't know he get high?
Like that's heavy what you said. He ain't never say to himself, I better not take this tattoo because I might get I might get botulism. I might get botulism in this goddamn tattoo parlor.
What's that one with the AIDS one? HIV, hepatitis C.
Right.
From tattoos.
Yeah.
Right. I might get hepatitis C. You understand, from this dirty ass needle. Like, what about that? It's a joke. It's a damn joke.
You die.
If I mention, sir, it just hit me like a lightning bolt because I believe I answered this question on Ask You the Prophets. Make sure y'all tune in every Wednesday. The GEN.YAHANNA. You know what I mean? Tune in to Ask You the Prophets on Wednesdays with 12 show GEN.YAHANNA.
Shout out to also your die and also Iba. They helped me roll through that thing, man.
Most high Christ, sir. I had a brother come in and chime in on that same situation. You know, you can get hepatitis C and hepatitis B. And it also hit me, a brother commented and said, Kyrie, when you hurt your knee last year, that doctor was shooting you up with steroids and all different type of antibiotics. You know what's in that?
Everything.
Just show you as a damn joke, man. You know what I mean?
So you die, you saying Lakers in 5. Is that what you mean?
Of course.
Okay, no problem. You heard it.
Right. Like, that's what we need to hear about. Like, who got the spread on the game? All this Kyrie needles. I don't know what are the odds down Atlantic City right now.
Come on with it. Now you're talking.
Can I get on the board? You know what I mean? That's what I need to know. You know what I mean? Not why this fool refused to take a damn needle. Come on, man. Sure. Let's keep it going, y'all.
Colonel Wakan, sir. We will not comply. New York City workers protest against vaccine mandate would march across the Brooklyn Bridge.
Well, they can go ahead and march because listen, if they don't, I'm going to laugh at them damn white supremacist cops because this mandate might change the entire police force. They said there's a record number of cops dying from the coronavirus because they refuse to take the vaccine because they listening to Trump and they white supremacists. So in a minute, you might change the entire police departments because they don't take that vaccine. You may change the whole dynamics of policing based on that vaccine. And if that happened, then brother, you ain't gonna tell me the Lord did not send the coronavirus on this kingdom.
That's right.
Because now you don't get the jab, you understand, at their own doing. You don't get the jab. They want to get rid of you. And there's a whole lot of them Edomite white supremacist cops who don't believe in taking the vaccine. Yeah. Go ahead, give us some more if you could.
Yeah, video, sir.
Come on. See, there they go. Look at that. They damn near all Edomites. Look at that. That's damn near all Edomites. This is all them cops with good $90,000, $100,000 a year jobs. Like this ain't the McDonald's workers saying that. That wasn't the McDonald's workers out there. You know what I'm saying? Can y'all hear me? I can't hear y'all. Something happened where I can't hear you. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Looks like you can't hear me either. There you go.
Yeah,
now,
we can hear you, sir.
Yeah, I hear you now. I hear you all as well. The water.
That's called New York City Police Department.
Say again?
City cops marching over the Brooklyn Bridge in defiance to the law, as they always have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
They
right.
keep the law.
They sure do.
They're lawless, scoff laws.
God.
That's what
God.
those cops are. None of them want to obey any rules.
John,
Yeah.
which will make you think a real patriot hates America. You know what I'm saying? And hates American
Yes.
law. A real patriot.
Can you imagine the things a cop reaches into your pants and grabs your penis? He doesn't ask your permission. He pulls you over, drags you out your car under the suspicion of a crime, not the conviction of a crime.
Yeah.
And grabs your genitalia. And what? He needs to have the right not to obey the law, which says the city ordinance, which says he has to get vaccinated or quit his job.
That's so heavy.
He's not a slave. He can just quit. They're always hiring at the post office.
Yep.
They're all UPS and Uber is always out there. You cops that sit in those patrols all day, you can sit in that Uber car and bring me hot and fresh chicken.
Right.
With a smile.
Right.
Tip,
That's all I'm about to say. We'll give you a tip.
Come on now.
That's so
Meanwhile,
heavy.
you black man over and Hispanic man over, you go and grab his penis. But you have the right to deny a city ordinance. You're lawless. You're
That's
lawless.
right.
You're a criminal, you New York cops. You're a criminal. Sir.
Listen, you're right. You are absolutely correct.
And listen, anybody with a spiritual eye, sir, can see all the evil that's been done to us as a people. Like the Lord now at a time where he ain't let nothing go unanswered. You do something against his children, I'm going to answer you back. And it's got to be obvious that the Lord is dealing with them, man. It's got to be all the evil they've done to Black, Hispanic, Native Indians over the years and constant and still going and not stopping, not slowing down. Now they getting coronavirus and dying. You got to know that's the Lord doing it. You know what I mean? And for everybody listening, and you a Hebrew Israelite, Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, you should understand they playing their part. And the Lord is punishing them for their part they playing against us. Play your parts. You play your parts. You get up in here and get right with the Lord. Get up in here and change your life. And stop playing around, man. Because every nation on the earth is playing their part. Now we got to play our part. Just like how y'all love sports. Y'all love some sports. You can tell me every position on the basketball court, every football position, every soccer, every baseball, basketball, the whole nine. Learn your position with the Lord. Right. And once you learn it, you play that part. Right. And that's how we're going to build our nation. Slide, sir.
Damn right.
Damn right. What else you got, you dad?
Howard.
Oh, please, get that.
Dave Chappelle might be the bigger story. What happened with Dave Chappelle?
Con will con, sir.
We got two stories, sir. The Howard University story about the deplorable conditions of their dorms, and something else happened with Dave Chappelle this week.
Let's rock them two out. Let's go to it.
Go ahead.
Con will con, sir. Lucky. Says Dave Chappelle willing to discuss the closure with trans community, but says he's not bending to anyone's demands.
Yeah, I mean, he trying to appease him. He trying to talk to him.
Yeah.
and appease them. But you know what I mean? It's important that I hope he don't bend and fall up under, because what he said was all the way right. And he was trying to say what they were doing was too wrong. If you could, you'd die quickly, because we on short on time. I'm not gonna go to it. I'm not gonna go to it now. But the point I just want to make is that spirit of sodomy is never satisfied. It's a demon as well. And it's not going to be satisfied with just you accepting them as being a sodomite. They got to change how you think and act about whatever's in your mind when it comes to them. Like, I can understand them saying, you know, you don't want to be discriminated against. Not that I understand it. It's against the Most High, and the Lord going to put you to death. But I understand that Esau loves the sodomite. But that's not good enough for that demon. What's really that demon wants is to be able to change how you think. You understand? Like, you gotta have to look. That demon wants you to look at that man that has put on a dress and cut off his genitalia and put on makeup on his face and taken estrogen pills. He wants you to look at that man like that is a woman. And if you refuse to look at that man like he's a woman, he is offended that you do not. And that is ridiculous. That's like that's like a white man, you know, that's like you looking at a white man and he angry that you see him as a white man. He angry that you see him as a white man. He wants you to, if he said, I want you to look at me, and you supposed to see a black man when you see me. But you are white. You're a white man, not a black man. Are you going to tell me to lie to myself about what's in my brain? Are you going to tell me to see you dressed up as a woman, as a transgender, and act as though I am wrong for recognizing that you are not the same as a biological woman? But that's what's in their mind, and he had to push back against it, and he should push back and continue to push back against it, because it's ridiculous and it's demonic to want somebody to think differently. Like, even white supremacy. You don't need to change white supremacists. How you going to ask a white supremacist to no longer hate you and your people? That's not what you should be looking for. You should be looking for a white supremacist from being stopped from harming you and your people. But you trying to change his mind about you is ridiculous. What's in his mind is what's in his damn mind. But you want him to not be able to use that white supremacy against you. And it should be the same with heterosexual men. As a heterosexual man, I should be able to decide for myself that I prefer a biological woman over a man that has tried to transform himself into a woman.
Right.
I should have the right to do that. And for them to turn around and act as though you can't do that, or you wrong for bringing it out, is a joke. And I hope David Chappelle stands on his point. You know what I'm saying? And the greater evil, of course, is that black men, the last thing black men need under this extreme assault is to have to capitulate to more transgender issues and situations. God. That it on that?
That's it on that.
Sir.
Let's go to Howard. Let's go to Howard University.
Sir. Howard University students protest housing conditions with on-campus tent city.
They set up a tent city protesting the housing condition. Because once again, nobody cares about you. You need black people to care about black historical colleges. You need black people to set up like this man has set up everybody know about the prison, what they call it? The prison pipeline, right?
School to prison pipeline?
Right. Everybody knows about the school to prison pipeline. But nobody has sat down and said, how are we going to get the school to university pipeline? And why haven't we sat there and put together the situations that get us to that pipeline? We've done it in the ISUPK. We've done it in the ISUPK. We got sisters 60 years old that done went back and got their degrees. We got young brothers and sisters coming out of high school going into college, because the things that are in place by Satan to stop them and to destroy them from getting there, we've moved those things out of the way. And if we were to really support ourselves, we'd move it out of the way at every historical black college. And you know, it would be nothing better than to be able to go to a historically black college and be able to promote, you know, come out with your degrees and to show you and your people's ability to be just as educated and just as sophisticated as those heathens. Instead, you go to them heathen school and become a sidekick and a mascot and a pledger up under them heathens and they Greek fraternities, and they whore you out and destroy your soul in exchange for that degree. And you have to live in the shadow of them and always trying to please them and trying to live up to their standard, to where you start to talk like them, walk like them, act like them. And of course, you begin to do the other thing that they do, which is hate your own people.
Yes, sir.
When it's simply should be a clear pipeline. What has to be in place so kids don't have to drop out of school? All of that could be fixed by us. All we got to do is be willing, and it'll be fixed by us. Instead, we sit up there and let some politician, imagine that we so dumb. We let a politician that works for corporations that pay no taxes, we let him lie to us and tell us he's going to fix our lives. How dumb could you be? When he working for corporations that don't pay no taxes, while they raising your taxes and taking every quarter from you and robbing you and keeping you a poor worker and refusing to raise your minimum wage. But you're going to believe this politician, this paid liar. You're going to believe him that he's going to somehow fix your life. You dumb and stupid as hell. When you should be saying to yourself, I'm going to follow the Lord's program in that Bible and going to fix them pipelines ourselves. We can fix them pipelines, man. We can be churning out educated and intelligent brothers and sisters, brother, from kindergarten all the way out of Howard University. Then you would not have to worry about broken down schoolrooms. You got broken down schoolrooms because you can't get a nigga in Howard. So excuse my French. Why the hell you think you got broken? Because ain't nobody putting a quarter in Howard. Salakia. Ain't nobody.
It's the same too, General, because you know, with all this so-called money that the black community, Hispanic, Native Indian community has, nobody putting a dime back in these HBCUs.
Exactly. Like it was.
It used to be a point of pride for black people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To have them HBCUs. Now they money going to everything but their own kind. And sir, like our General Hyman said earlier, this falls at the hands and the lap of that Christian church.
Yes.
Them cats are culpable for all these things, man. I go back to the movie you told us about, Lackawanna Blues. If ain't nobody seen Lackawanna Blues, you better go check it out. Go look for it. They're trying to hide it off of TV. Because before Michael King did what he did, our communities were thriving. We had our own. One decrepit, depredated, it wasn't none of that stuff. But it was good looking. You know what I mean? We kept our houses up, employed our own, took care of our own neighborhoods. But because of Michael King and the ones around him, and they lust for our oppressors' desires, they gave them us.
It's shameful. It's absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Like it's absolutely shameful. It's absolutely shameful that there used to be a sense of pride. Listen, Edomite that had, you know, he had an art collection. His art collection, they could not put the amount, the number on how much his art collection was worth. And he was in a fight with the city because the city was trying to take his art collection and trying to, you know, say his buildings was dilapidated and all this. This is an Edomite. And I mean, this artwork was amazing. So he said to spite them and to preserve his art collection, he gave that art collection to Lincoln University. And if you don't know anything about Lincoln University is one of the one of the prominently known historical black college. I mean, it had a reputation that's ridiculous. I only know about it because my sister went there. She graduated from there. And it was it's still to this day it is. But back then it was a super great sense of pride if you graduated from Lincoln University. You graduated from Lincoln University, it was as though you was equipped to be at the top of black society. And let me tell you something else too. The people, the leaders of Liberia, when they went back to resettle Liberia in 1913, the leaders that they sent over there to run Liberia were graduates from Lincoln University. That's how heavy this college was. So this Edomite gave Lincoln University all these millions of dollars worth of paintings. And these dumbasses, you Christians in the church, they let basically mobsters come in, take the artwork, put it on display around the world, make a few dollars off it, pay them a few dollars off it, and then let the city steal the artwork from it. Now the artwork is in the hands of the city, and all that wealth, that artwork was so rare and so expensive that it could have financed Lincoln University for the next 1,000 years, damn near. That's how precious and expensive this artwork this Edomite had. And he was fighting the city and gave it to them, thinking that, you know, because the city was so racist against them, he figured he'd give it to them, and then it would never get in the hands of the city. Lo and behold, he didn't know the Christian church was weak. And that's exactly what goes on in these historical black colleges. You feel better and more successful if you go to these Edomite colleges. And then you wonder why your college don't never become like the Edomite college. Like the Edomite college can raise its tuition because everybody wants to go there. You can't raise your tuition because nobody wants to go there because you've been taught self-hatred. You on your way to a historical black college, and you so dumb and don't even know that you've been taught to hate that very college and your own. And them black leaders, them ones that see them dorms like that, they should be ashamed of themselves for setting up a tent city. Who you protesting against? Black leaders of Lincoln, of Howard University, the historical black college. That's who you mad at? Why in the hell you don't go to the rest of these rich preachers and say, what the hell you doing? Give Howard University some money so we can get educated. Instead, you're going to turn on the very leaders at Howard who probably barely could pay for them damn rooms because they can't get a damn quarter out of you because, of course, the minute your slave master say he ain't giving you no money, that's usually the end of your entire world. It's another joke. Black people, Latino people, wake the hell up, man. Come out of the madness. The Lord set the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge here for you to wake up and come out of it. Support this truth. Pay your tithes. ISUPK.com. Send in the funds necessary to keep this truth going and raising up great black men so they can raise up great black women, so they can raise up great black children, so we can raise up a great black Latino and Native Indian nation. I'll see y'all next time live on the UPK.
That's why I don't know you. I'm not letting nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. That's right. And it's worth something.
This is BLACKWATCH with Commanding General YAHANNA, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he make man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
We don't need a black man in the White House. You need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. BLACKWATCH. Let the show begin.